Hey, 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 this is your recap auntie. Hey, y'all. Hey, this is Shar. Welcome to my channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, everybody. Hello. Whew, child. Your auntie was a little down a little bit, but we back. We back. We feeling all right today. So let's go ahead and get this party started. We're here to do a full reaction, real time recap to episode number 190, y'all. We only got 10 more shows before we reach the second season, episode 200. And I cannot wait to see what they got. So, y'all ready? I'm ready. Let's go ahead and knock on this damn door so they can go ahead and open up these gates so we can go ahead and get this party started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we are at Uptown and we see Nicole meeting there with her mammy. Anita, oh honey, I am so sorry. I am so sorry I am late. I've been just a little distracted today. Nicole is like, honey, I am just glad you were able to find time for our coffee in the middle of your busy schedule, mother. Well, honey, you know how much I value my time with my girls. And I also know, mother, how much work you have to catch up on after organizing Winterfest. I swear, mother, I don't know how you do it with all of your responsibilities. Every year, honey, I say I'm going to do all my Christmas shopping before Winterfest Madness, honey. And of course, that shit never happens. I mean, I'm right there with you, Nicole says. She says, I really cannot get into the holiday shopping mood until there's a little cheer, a little brrr in the air. Yeah, it's such a special time full of joy and family. And Anita was kind of getting a little choked up. And so Nicole was like, Mother, are you okay? Oh, yes, of course. Just thinking about all the post Winterfest and, everything. Well, speaking of gifts, Mother, have you got any special hints from Daddy as to what he's getting you this year? No, girl, I have not. And that's not for lack of trying, honey. But I do know that he is up to something, honey. Your father has that sparkle in his eye. Sparkle in your eye. Yes, that's an oldie but goodie. Then we are at the little palace and we see Vernon knocking on the door outside of Danny's balcony. She's like, Daddy! La 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 la. She when I tell you, ever since Andre has gotten a hold of that doe, because she looks like a deer, she has just been running and smiling and humming and cheese and everything. Oh, hi. What a nice surprise. She gives her daddy a big old hug. He says, Look, I am here on a mission. He comes in there with there's nothing ever good when a man comes there with a big manila envelope in his hand. Now, I'm a little behind on arranging Christmas gifts for Anita. Now, I do have something I think will be wonderful, but I will need a little help. I didn't even know Andre was there, so he's talking, he's looking at Danny and telling pretty much both of them that he gonna need a little help. Wait a minute, I get to be on the secret this year? Oh my god, that's fabulous. Well, how can I help? He was like, thank you, sweetheart, but I'm here to talk to Andre. Ooh, it's so nice to meet you, Mrs. Hamilton. We are back at Bill Hamilton and Esquire and Associates, blah, blah, blah. And that is what Miss Wise Lynette is saying to Haley as they're shaking hands. Nice to meet you too, but please call me Haley. And Lynette is looking like, oh, is that the name we're using now? Bop, bop, bop. We got the bop. Well, we are at the red door with Smitty, and so Martin comes home. And so I guess he had an interview with a reporter. So I guess the reporter likes Thai food. I can't use Thai food because they use peanut oil. But when I could eat peanuts, I love me some Thai food. So Martin has been dressed in suits lately. So I guess that was the perfect place for them to eat and meet, baby, because the reporter likes Thai food. That means your article gonna be bomb. So we found out that Smitty had did some research on this reporter, being that he's a reporter too. So whatever he found out, it was perfect because I guess he found out where they like to eat and stuff like that. And whatever questions that he had to prepare, talk about the Welfare Animal Act were the same questions that Smitty had asked him earlier. So he was really, really prepared for the interview. So that's cool. But welfare and animals, okay. Is that going to be his stance? I think that'll be good in addition to the unhoused. I feel like the unhoused will help him as well. Uh-oh. So he gets Smitty says while he was gone, Martin got a phone call from one of the ladies from the congressional committee wanting to know that if he's on board with using some of the gambling monies that's out there, we only know one person that owns a gambling casino. If he can use some of those funds to help treat people who have a gambling problem. Let's see what he gonna say. And Martin was like, well, that also does put a little strain on those existing money laundering statutes. So Smitty was like, so what that mean? Is that a yes? Martin was like, shit, I need to give that shit some more thought. And so Smitty was like, wait a minute, I thought this was right up your alley. Come on, Smitty, think. Remember, Joey said when he has to do some shit, he don't want nobody in his way. That's why he got Martin in that back pocket of his. So Smitty does ask him, so you hesitating because of Joey? So the next scene, we at the hole in the wall, and Joey coming there fire mad. He just left Vanessa because she was about to slap the shit out of him, slamming the door and shit. Randy there talking about, hey, boss, how was lunch? Randy asked him. Well, not as pleasant as I hoped. Nope, not at all. Not at all, Joey. Randy was like, well, damn, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, man, it's all my own damn fault. I shouldn't have bothered. Uh-oh. So Joey was like, I shouldn't even have touched that shit. I already got enough on my mind with this push for additional AML regulation. That's anti-money laundering regulations. I think if you work in life insurance, any type of banking, you always have to take that. I get tired of taking them tests. I think we take where I work, we maybe do it once a year. You have to take these money, anti-money laundering uh little quizzes and stuff that it's required if you handling any type of money and funds so that employees may know that they can't be using people's stuff for their own gain. Because when I tell you I've seen some major stuff come across my desk. One last week, I was like, whoa. So of course Randy ain't no AML, anti-money laundering. Joey says what that really means is that it's going to be increased government scrutiny on yours truly. Yeah, they got their eyes on your ass. External audits, internal reviews, automated transactional analysis. Youch. He just he says, why don't they just give me a damn colonoscopy? Damn, it hurt that. That's what it felt like, Joey. Whew. So Randy was like, "Well, boss, thank God you was smart enough to read the writing on the wall, so you could transfer all of your AML activities over to Vanessa's fast ass real estate business." So he was like, "Well, damn, that to be honest, that ain't going as well as anticipated." So that, wait a minute. Joey says, "Wait a minute, never mind that shit. What the fuck you doing here? I doubt your ass came here to help me restack chips." Randy was like, man, I'm sorry, but I'm here to tell you something that I honestly know that you ain't ready to hear and you don't want to hear. Oh, they just showed a commercial on Jib Jab. Jib Jab. I haven't done Jib Jab in years. I might have to do one and just send it up, put it up over here. If you know what Jib Jab is, it's like an animated Christmas cards. They are so cute. I haven't done Jib Jab in so long. I'm gonna have to find one. I'm gonna have to find one and put it over here. Honey, we back at Bill's office. So Bill is telling Caroline to pull up the company's calendar. Let's see who's available to take on this new matter. And we see Haley and Lynette just staring at each other. Mm. So Caroline was like, of course I will. So he invites Lynette to sit down. So he tells Lynette, unfortunately, my plate is just a little too full right now to handle your situation personally. And Haley is still there ear jocking, baby. Why is you there, girl? So Lynette says, well, damn, that's disappointing. He said, well, no, no, don't worry about that. I got you. I'm still going to be overseeing all that shit. So you'll have the benefit of my expertise. So don't worry about nothing. I got you. However, I did promise my lovely and very patient wife for a much needed getaway. It'll make me so, I wanted that he have her come there, Lynette. Because remember, Haley did pretend that she didn't know nothing about Randy until eventually we found out that they knew each other. They was cousins. So it makes me wonder, did Bill bring her there? Lynette says, oh, how sweet. So where are you two off to? Oh, well, I just bought a vacation home in St. Bart's, he says. Lynette was like, very nice. Business must be booming, she says. Well, he says, well, I'm a damn fucking good lawyer. She said, if you do say so yourself. He was like, well, yeah, I've never believed in false modesty. But this woman right here, Haley, she can definitely back up my claims. Wait a minute, honey. As a totally unbiased observer, Lynette says, she says, I can vouch for Bill, not only as an admiring wife, but as a paralegal. My husband's a genius in the courtroom and skilled at hiring exceptional associates. Lynette was like, well, damn. After that glowing fucking assessment, honey, why in the world would I worry? Consider me on board. So you see, Haley was like, this bitch. He was like, Caroline, she said, we'll get back to you with the next steps in a day or two. That's what Caroline tells Lynette. But feel free to call me directly if you have any questions. That's what Caroline tells Lynette. So Lynette was like, that's fine with me. So she get ready to go out and she shakes Bill's hand. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Hamilton. And so she was about to leave. Oh, and Haley, oh, we'll be seeing each other again soon. Ha! Andre, one of the most worst kept secrets in the family is like keeping the incredible Christmas gifts that Daddy gets Mother. We're back at the little palace, and that is what Danny is telling her boo. And he's like, oh, really now? They're always so romantic, meaningful, and unusual. And they make every other husband's look utterly pathetic. Andre was like, well, damn, no pressure. Ah, she exaggerates. Danny continued on and says, one year he got one of Mother's favorite designers to not only create a dress for her, wow, but he used her songs as inspirations for his entire collection. Wow. Andre said the same thing I said. Wow. He was like, all right, now I might have to rethink marrying into this old fancy ass family. Don't worry, darling, Danny says. Just take notes, okay? So Andre was like, you probably ran through all of the typical gifts in the first years of your marriage. Am I right? And yes, Vernon says, that's precisely the problem. I don't know what Danny gave him, water or tea or whatever, but he fucking the mess out of that damn cup. And that's a tough thing to do, drink or eat on stage. He did that. He was like, put the cup down. After decades of marriage, Anita has just about all the jewelry and collectibles and artwork that she could ever want. That sounds like me. That's why I love Anita. Yeah, being an actor, y'all, that is very tough to eat on stage and act. He was able to do that in one take. Now you see that his vein in his neck is kind of bulging a little bit because that water probably was trying to work his way down. But he did great. I mean, he's an actor. What do you expect? But for him to be 80 years old and still have to continue that line, I think that he did absolutely wonderful. Go ahead, Clifton. So he said he had to get a little bit more creative over the years. It's always been a challenge. But this year I kind of got lucky. Oh, he said a constituent came up to him in Orphe Jeans back in February when they opened. That's when the show started, and gave him a clipping of him and Anita when they first met at the march. So, so it shows a picture of Clifton Davis and Anita when they first met. Y'all better make them look like they really met in real life. How about that? So Danny was like, I never knew that picture existed. And he was like, I ain't know that shit was there either. But with the help of a very obliging fellow at the newspaper, I was able to track this shit down. He pulled this from the archives. Woo! Danny says, you and Mama Honey was looking real sharp even back then. So Danny was like, what are you going to do with it, Dad? I was hoping that my son in law, the talented photographer, might have some suggestions. Andre says, trust me. He nodding his head. I know how I'm going to work this. Yeah. Your father had a meal flown in from Dookie Chase, honey, with all my favorites. This is back at Uptown. This is what Anita is telling Nicole. I mean, where does Daddy even come up with these ideas? Some men pick up golf when they retire. Some go fishing, but your father, honey, your father's hobby is to find numerous ways to make me smile. And she got her gold on one hand and her silver on the other. Like I said, I love mixed metals only because of her. I have never worn mixed metals, and I have gold and silver. But because of this lady, I've been wearing more mixed metals. And he succeeds every time, Nicole says. Believe me, baby, I know how lucky I am. I'm even more curious to see what he comes up for Christmas. With his track record, it'll have to be incomparable. And don't worry, I already know better but not about not asking your ass what you have in store for him, so I'm not going to ask, Mom. Honey, my lips are sealed, she says, and then we hear bzzz, bzzz. That's Anita's phone. All right now. That's Dr. An. We've been talking about her, but now we see her on the screen. So she called Anita and said that they just got word back from the radiologist that she had a cancellation in her schedule today. So she's probably calling to see if she's free to come in. Yeah, she wants to know if she can do her biopsy in about an hour if she can make it. So she might be having some breast cancer scare, I'm thinking. Well, that's unexpected, Anita says. Well, you know, Dr. An was like, I understand that, but I would implore you that you take advantage of this opportunity, baby, to get this procedure done as soon as possible. Hmm. So there was a lesion that they found in her breast, and they probably don't think it's anything to worry about, but she says the sooner that they have the answers, the better it'll be. Of course, honey, I'll be there. Thank you. Is everything okay, Mother? Yes, just more Dupree Heritage Foundation business. When I tell you these people will sit in each other's face and lie, they lie all the damn time. But where is that waiter to get our coffee, baby? I have a lot of things to do today. So we're back at the red door. Looks like Martin is going to have another town hall. He tells Shonda how much of a great campaign manager she is. So he hangs up the phone because he was on the phone with her. So Smitty was like, "All right, I like Shonda, but we need to roll it back to what we was talking about before about this Joey Armstrong and this gambling situation." So he goes through this whole political speech talking about he would love to support the bill because the monies from the gambling places can be funded to help people who have addictions. But there's an argument there because there are some legal places that you could play, maybe like the lottery and stuff like that, that might be fair and unfair advantage to those places. So yeah, you got Joey's old shifty ass hole in the wall, but you do have some places that are legal that you can play, and it might be unfair on them. So he said he want to make sure to see what's going to be added and deleted because a bill that he might believe in today might change and morph into something that he don't even recognize when it's done. We all know about that one, honey. That big ugly ass bill in the real world, honey. So Smitty apologized, like, look, I'm sorry, to assume that you just went on over to the dark side. He's like, no, I get it. He said it's normal for you to be worried that Joey is going to be calling me one day and be pressuring me, tapping me on the shoulder, to pull in some political favors for him. So I understand that, boo. So he says, and that hasn't happened, Martin says. And Smitty was like, I mean, but that don't mean that shit ain't gonna happen, right? So we back at the hole in the wall, and Brandy is talking to Joey. That congresswoman, she returned your contribution to her campaign. So he's been paying people, but they've been returning it. Mm. So he sat down. He's like, God dog it, that Martin motherfucking Richardson. Damn it, he's starting to rub off on the others. So I guess people found out that he returned his donation and contribution back to Joey. So now everybody else that he's been given to returns it too. So what excuse did they give for returning my legal generous donation? He asked Randy. Apparently there were some reporters sniffing around her office, Randy says, asking about her positions on gaming laws. He was like, well, was it Smitty? No, no, Randy said, no, it was somebody else. Well, that's even worse. He was like, well, that means that fear of being tainted by me or my money that's spreading. Suddenly I'm persona non grata, he says, Joey. Randy was like, man, this doesn't have to hold you back, boss. You can still give your dark money donations. You know what I'm saying? Slide a little something under the table, just like you always have been. You'll have just as much, if not more, influence behind the scenes. Joy's like, fuck that. I'm tired of playing behind the scenes, all right? My income might not be the most squeaky clean out there, but show me one successful businessman who's up for sainthood, all right? Do you happen to know how much revenue the state of Maryland took in from casinos last year? Randy was like, well, over 800 million. I mean, you might have mentioned that shit once or twice, That's right. That's right, young man. You were listening. That's what Joey says. He was like, shit, these damn politicians, they love all that tax revenue, but their asses don't want to be associated with the source. Well, fuck Martin Richardson and his gutless cronies. Well, he said the hell with him. But y'all know my mouth. Their asses may think that they don't need my ass, all right? But the truth is exactly the opposite. All right, so Joey leaves, and so Cuz sends Randy a message, meet me at Uptown, urgent. So we back at Bill Hamilton and Associates, and so he was like, well, hope you're proud of me, sweetheart. He tells Haley, I just delegated a new case, and I am fully committed to our vacation. I am very proud of you. And how did this feel of having a work-life balance for a change? I like it, he says. I knew you would. In fact, he says, I think I'm going to take the rest of the afternoon off and play hooky with you. She looking like, oh, wonderful. He was like, so, what should we do? I have an appointment at the nail salon. Why did you come with me and get a mani pedi? Ah, he said, on second thought, I think it's best that I put in a few more hours here. Bill is not Bill, I'm telling you, he sees everything. That whole conversation she had on that phone when he was laid out on that floor on Thursday, I think he heard every fucking thing. I think he did. But he don't know who she might have been talking to. But we'll find out eventually. Oh, really? She says. He said, yeah, that just means he said that just means that I can clear off my desk uh, fast as fuck before we head on to St. Bart's. Okay, if you think that's best, I'll see you later. So she leaves out of the office and she looking like, oh shit. Well, we're back at the little palace with Andre, Vernon, and Danny. Andre's talking about the picture that they have from the newspaper, how back then they used to use a certain form and all of the pictures were made of like small dots. He probably just make it more colorful and modernize it and probably frame it or something like that. We're not gonna go through all this shit. All we know what Vernon is trying to do. So next, I'll tell you, Danny is dripping all over that board. Just he was like he has some type of software that he can edit called D something D screening. Just when I thought you couldn't get any sexier, honey. And Andre was like, "Yeah, baby, you're distracting me right now, and your pops is sitting right here." Pops is like, "Yes, he is." Oh, sorry. Lord, I tell you. So he said that he's ready to jump right on it because he's going to restore it to its original look. So his high res scanner is at his apartment at the condo. Remember, I just talked about the condo. I just talked about that fucking condo. So she was like, "You don't have to leave right now." Danny says he was like, "Look, I'm ready to jump in and dive in this shit right now. I mean, the juices is flowing." She said, "Well, don't take too long, honey. I'm gonna miss those big brown artistic eyes. I'm telling you, I'm like." Danny, when well, Bill already fell out from the poison. Danny, girl, I hopefully she's locked into Andre. I know she cares about Bill, and I think that she likes that she still has a hook in him. But I also feel that she really does love Andre. I feel that she does. I feel it. Because again, Bill cheated on her the entire marriage. She never, only thing she got from him was like they made a good partnership and they looked good on paper. They made two beautiful daughters, but he fucked around on her the whole relationship. Thank you. Andre leaves. Danny says, isn't he amazing, Daddy?" He says, "Yeah, I think it's amazing that your husband still got his own damn condo. Thank you. I swear I didn't know this was coming." I'm like, I don't understand why he still has it too. When he's still over there with Danny, he be over her house all the time. Give Unc that fucking condo. Get Ted out of that fucking motel. So Vernon was like, "What the fuck is that about? Are you two hedging your bets on this marriage? I mean, if they don't work out, you can go back to your place and you go back, I go to mine. What's the fuck is going on?" So we're at Uptown. I'm telling you, when I tell you that Randy and Haley are the two most dumbest people on this show, y'all supposed to be beating somewhere discreet, right? So y'all didn't want to do the Bird Cafe. You go to crowded ass right across the door when somebody walk in as Uptown. Somebody can walk in there, see y'all eating. So he's walking looking for her. She's like, "Hey," he was like, "What's wrong? Did someone see you spiking Bill's tea? What's the tea? Did they find the drops?" She's like, "No, nothing like that. I'm on my game as always, and nobody's suspicious of a damn thing." Bill thinks that he's still passed out from that low blood sugar. He was like, "Okay, all right, cool, cool. But we may need to put a hold on things." No, he says, a few days ago, you were all up on my ass waiting to speed things up. Y'all listening to my stuff. Why y'all throwing all this cussing in there? Why y'all listening to my shit? Okay, I got you. He was like, now your ass want to press the pause button? Bitch, don't tell me you caught feelings for this nigga. Why you always got to take it there? The only feelings that I caught for that motherfucking Bill Hamilton is a whole bunch of annoyance and a crick in my neck. She said, from she said, whoo, let me get this out. And the crick in my neck for having to look up all the damn time. Whoever wrote that line, clock it. Y'all writer, whoever wrote that line, writer, you better write. She said, because we always talk about how fucking tall he is over her. And she be having on heels, and I'll be like, damn, I know her neck must be hurting her. She said, catching the crick in her neck. I want out of this marriage even more than before, but nigga, we got a new problem. He was like, what? She's like, you remember Lynette? He was like, damn, your old partner in crime, the one you used to run scams with, bitch. Guess who showed up in Bill's office? So next scene, we see Anita arrive at the hospital, and Dr. An, is very grateful that she was able to show up on very short notice. And so Anita was like, I'm just so grateful that the radiologist could fit me in so quickly. I didn't want to spend the holidays worrying about that suspicious ultrasound result. Hopefully, it is a false alarm. Well, Dr. An says, well, there is a good chance of that. Most breast biopsies, about 80% turn out to be benign, but we've just got to make sure. So yeah, that's why women get them smashed, honey. I got mine smashed in October. Yeah, and I have to do it more often now because I think I mentioned to you guys before that my sister suffered from breast cancer. She beat it though. She's still here, my older sister. And I know that a couple of rascalettes, have suffered from breast cancer. So, and I'm glad that you ladies are still here. And they do say men suffer from it too. So yeah, cancer sucks. So Anita was like, of course. So Dr. An was like, I'm assuming that the senator will be here shortly. Should we be waiting for him? She says, well, since I didn't think this was anything serious, I didn't see the need to include any of my family, including Nicole, who is taking the afternoon off, so I know it's not likely I will bump into her. But I just want to make sure no one here accidentally mentions anything. Of course, Dr. An says, we respect your privacy. That was a lot to say, Anita. You just pretty much said, I don't want them in my business unless it's something that they need to worry about. That's what you were saying. And don't be telling everybody none of my shit. But Dr. An was like, but there's still time to reconsider if you need somebody to be here for you for support. Well, but I thought you said that the procedure is fairly simple. It is. Then I should be okay by myself. I'm sure you will be, Mrs. Dupree, but the procedure can be a little unnerving if this is your first time. I was very nervous for my own biopsy, she says. This is Dr. Hahn. Were you really? Anita said. Of course. People do forget that doctors have bodies too, even doctors themselves. May I ask what were your results? My results came back benign, she says, but I was just as nervous as anybody else would be. So she was like, and it's very normal to feel that way when you're facing the possibility of a cancer. I know, well, we no, I'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So she tells Anita to go take a seat, and Dr. Caputo, the radiologist, she's gonna go get him. Anita was like, "Shit, we not putting that in the atmosphere, honey. I buying that. We ain't gonna have no seat. Fuck that c word. Not over here, Satan. No, no." So while Anita is sitting in the lobby, honey, Vernon calls her. So she's sitting in the lobby at the hospital. Hello, darling, Anita. I was just wanting to let you know, baby, that I'm over here at Danny's house. Oh, she says, what's going on? Ah, don't worry about it, baby. It's just a little daddy-daughter time. Now, Anita's wrong. Anita, you know you wrong, girl. You sitting in the hospital. Vernon is over at Danny's, but you're trying to sound all worried like something is wrong over there when you know that there's something wrong where you are. Come on now, mama. So Vernon continues to say, if there's anything that you need to know, you will. Oh, okay, good. So is you still out with Nicole? Oh no, no, honey. We finished our coffee catch up. Oh, why don't you come on over to Danny's and then we can catch up? Oh, I wish I could. But I have a lot of things that I need to take care of today, she says. All right, I'll see you back at the house. We miss you, love you, Danny screaming in the background. Bernie was like, child, oh, well, put me in the group track, would you? I don't want to be in this here. Y'all talking about this love shit, the love you group. I don't want that. Oh, yeah. Oh, goodbye, baby. So we're at Bill Hamilton's and Associates office. So we go, that is Caroline intercom in Bill's office. Yeah, what is it, girl? Joey Armstrong is here. Bill said, this mother. Send his ass back. So, Bill, hey, Joey, what brings you by? Joey was like, fuck that. You mean, what the hell you doing here? Bill was like, look, it's just in the past. We've been careful about keeping our communications and conversations under the radar. Well, that's because we were discussing the less savory aspects of my business, Joey said. Or we were devising ways to shield your in laws. Ex in laws from the consequences of their own actions. No, 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 no. Today's visit, Joey says, has nothing to do with that shit. Go on, Bill says. Joey says, I am here to discuss your future prospects, which means that I have a feeling that you want to ask me to join your operation again. As much as I enjoy the compliment, I feel like I'm going to lose more than I can gain in that particular scenario, Bill says. Oh, well, I wouldn't argue that point, Joey says. But there are other scenarios, much more scenarios in which you would have plenty to gain. Oh, shit. Bill says, care to elaborate? Joey says, have you ever thought about running for office? Ooh, the competition's growing. Bill was like, where the fuck is this coming from? Joey says, are you telling me that this has never crossed your mind about running for public office? You have had a front row seat at the DMV for years. You know how most politicians work, and your ass can run circles around them motherfucking clown. Bill says, hell, that's easier to say that shit than not doing it is something different. Wait a minute, Joey. Wait, Joey says, wait. What? What's this false modesty coming from you, Bill Hamilton? Joey talking about he's giving this shit a lot of thought. Bill has a lot of the attributes the voters would look for. He's smart, good looking, well spoken, very successful, and he's a fighter. Joey says he fought for his clients, he'll fight for you. I guess that's his motto or slogan that he'll have for Bill. I mean, come on, the ads practically write themselves. Bill says, wait a minute, are you looking to be my campaign manager? Because I was just thinking that same thing. And Joey was like, oh, I could be a lot more useful than that. I can bring in donors, he says as he sits down at his desk, starting with May. So there's a lot of frustration going down at the little city councils with the high-minded elitisms versus the practicality. You see, now too much regulation, you see, slows down businessmen like May. It keeps us from investing in our community. So Bill was like, well, wait a minute. Are there any particular regulations or oversights that concerned you? Got you a little nervous and shaking in your damn boots? Oh man, too many to count. I be jumping lines. He says, which means that you will have plenty to do, Joey said. So Bill was like, what exactly are we aiming for right now? Well, right now, Joey says, I would focus on aiming to challenge Martin Richardson for his congressional seat. Bill says, so this is about your ass poking a stick in the Dupree's collective eye. He said, well, look, I'll admit, Joey says, I am very frustrated about all the situations and shit that many times my contributions have made their success. So yeah. Bill was like, shit, tell me about it. See, you get it. Like you get so many things. Joey said, look, frankly, I don't see ingratitude on being an issue for you. I'm really appreciated how the confidence you have in me, Joey, but I'm afraid that your timing leaves a lot to be desired. That's what Bill tells him, but I think that he had a glitch of thinking about maybe running. I feel like he should. Oh, he said he just told Joey, because we all know the secret that Joey knows. He said he just told Haley that he was going to step back from the daily grind that he'd been doing. And he says, actually, I've been getting along fairly well with my former in-laws lately, so I don't want to rock that damn boat. He was like, "Well, I don't know how long that will last." And so he said, "Well, and a little bit that I do know about the current new Mrs. Hamilton, I would think that she would get a bit out of a kick of being the wife of a congressman." She probably would, but no, that ain't her. That ain't her stilo. He said, "But just don't dismiss it out of your head, okay?" So Bill says, "Okay, I promise. I'll give it some thought." So they shake hands and he leaves. Let me press pause on this. There was news yesterday, or maybe whatever y'all watched this, oh, within the last couple of days, about the DC chief stepping down. We already know that Mayor Bowser, she's not going to be rerunning again, but this is a true story. But come to find out that they were fudging the numbers to show that the crime numbers were fake, or were that the crime numbers were lower than what what they were, and it's parallel to what's going on Beyond the Gates. Didn't Elon say that the mayor or somebody's getting on his ass about fixing the numbers and doing all this shit? Now y'all tell me that these scripts are done months in advance. Why is all this stuff just coming to a head and it just happened to be happening right around the same time? Elon and Marcel, they have to prove that the numbers got to match, what's going on. And the same thing just happened in DC. These black women done get up there and lied on the numbers, y'all. I don't know if they were saying more crimes was happening than they were not, or they was just fudging the numbers. It wasn't what was popping off in DC. So yeah, it sounds like a lot of these scripts and tapings is more real time than not. I can't wait for them to do a live recording. I'm hoping that they'll do that within the next 5 years, but I cannot wait to see when they will do a live show of Beyond the Gates. Lynette claims she needs an attorney to defend her because her employer is accusing her of embezzlement. We are back at Uptown, and this is Haley, Haley talking to Cuz. He was like, "Well, damn, that tracks. How much she take?" Do you seriously think that I stood there and listened to all that shit in Bill's office and asked her that in the middle of their whole con? No, hell no, I ain't asked her no fucking question. I nearly passed the fuck out when I saw her ass. Man, it's been years. I'm whispering because that's how she talking that damn Uptown. Man, but it doesn't look like Lynette was seem surprised at all to see me. So Randy was like, "Wait a minute, so she didn't blow your cover?" Mm-mm, mm-mm. She just let Bill introduce us like we never met. Good, Randy says, "but you still need to find out what the fuck she had going on in her damn mind." He says he ain't never been no damn fan of no coincidences. Yeah, because Haley's ass has been all in the news and stuff. She married to the top damn attorney. So she talking about, "Oh, I am way ahead of you, cuz. On my way out of the office, I got Lynette's phone number out of the client file." Well, Nicole is making her rounds, honey. She's over there looking at her baby boy over at the red door. So he said, "You just missed Smitty. Apparently, the only outfit that Samantha can wear is at the dry cleaner." So he had to go. Smitty had to skedaddle to the dry cleaners and get Samantha her clothes. You remind me, I need to drop off some myself. Nicole tells him, "Honey, I remember when I was a teenage girl, honey, when something like that happened, your grandmother would make me go upstairs and pick out my own damn outfit." Well, Smitty was like, Martin says, clearly Smitty's a little more easygoing than Gran is. So yeah, we kind of figured that out. Yeah. Many are more easygoing than your grandmother, but we do love her to pieces anyway, Nicole said. So with the campaign revving up, they weren't able to go to Winterfest because Nicole was like, I miss you and the kids at Winterfest this year. He was like, "Yeah, the campaign, I just couldn't make it. But I did hear that it was cool and that Dad took Eva." She was like, "Yeah, he was there." And he was very charming and really nice about it. He even asked me before he even brought her to the thing. And she said, and I was cool with it. I really was. I really was. I can't help but feel for Eva being raised by Leslie. I mean, it's only right that Ted decides to go ahead and be more present in Eva's life now. I really don't have a problem with that. And Mark was like, "Really? Really, Mama? You telling me the truth?" She was like, "Yes, honey. If only I could sway your sister to that same point. Did you hear that Kat boycotted the Winterfest?" He said, "I heard. We had a talk this morning about it. The first one we've had in a very long time." "How's she doing?" Nicole says. "Girl, you don't know how your daughter's doing?" Martin just says she's very insecure about her place in the family right now, especially since dad has another daughter. So Nicole tells him that she's really happy that they reconnected, especially now because she really does need her big bro. And he said he made a promise to her and he's going to make one to her as well right now, to both, her and Kat, that he would make more time for the both of them. It's really been a very turbulent year for all of us, honey. Ever since Bill's engagement to Haley last Christmas, it seemed like everything just spiraled, Nicole says. So I didn't know that he had gotten engaged to Haley last Christmas. Then they got married when? Like March? Damn, he moved really fast. So she's saying that she's hoping that this Christmas will be way better than it was last year so they get that peace, harmony, love, and joy that they've been all missing for so long. Now that will be a great gift for your grandparents. So we're back at the hospital and we see Anita there with her real pink, cute little hospital gown. And so the nurse is telling her that Dr. Caputo will be in just a minute. Uh-oh. Okay, we got a nurse. She got a really sweet voice. I'll be outside if you need anything because Dr. Caputo is gonna come in, girl, and he's gonna be telling you everything. Okay, all right. Oh, while Anita's sitting there, the nurse was left out. Her life is flashing before our eyes with her and Vernon dancing in Orphe jeans, and then they're cheersing with the Richardsons, Danny and Andre. Oh. So even the last little bit of her memory, you can hear her say, "This is going to be the best year ever," right before her and Vernon clink clink glasses. And I like this part of her, although she didn't say anything. You could tell that she's nervous because when people are nervous, they tend to shake themselves a lot, and look down and look nervous. I'll tell you that Miss Tooney, perfection on the screen. So we're back at the red door, and so Martin says, "Well, now that you're here, Mama, I got something I want to ask you about." Nicole's like, "Girl, please." Samantha and I already talked about the Cecilia situation. I already reached out to whoever we need to get in contact with. Ain't nothing to worry about. She cool. Cause she only missed like one event, so she'll be fine. There will be a cotillion. There will be. And so Martin was like, "Well, thanks for that, Mama. Thanks." So he tells her about the bill that he wants to help push, that helps people who are having gambling problems fund those treatment programs that will help gambling addicts. So he's telling her about it. She says, "Well, you mean like Doug McBride?" He was like, "Exactly." So it was too late for Doug, but there are still a lot of people out there who are in the same situation as Doug. So he wants to pick her brain a little bit about it. She's like, "I have thought about the topic and I would love to discuss it with you, Martin." She's so. I tell you, Nicole, she plays this part so good. Like there's a thin veil of of protection around her. I mean, we've seen her vulnerable when Leslie cut a fool in when she choked the shit out of Leslie. But she is always very professional, and I love that she knows how to play this role so perfectly. Real life, honey, she be grinding. She be like I'm doing the wine, the wine, the wine. She know how to do that wine, baby. Go look up Daphne on damn IG, and you'll see exactly what I mean. She can dance her ass off. But this particular character, she really does know how to maintain her cool and everything. And another side note, if you look at on YouTube, there's a channel called SOAPY, SOAPY, and there was a video that they just put up, I think today, within the last 24 hours. Whenever you're watching this, go check it. It's there with Michelle Van John and the young lady who is the costume designer here on the show. So Michelle was talking about she was the one who was responsible for the Luke and Laura how are we going to say grape scene, all of the words that were said, everything that was done in that scene, because she herself was attacked when she was 12 years old, and so she never really got the help that she needed. So she said that writing that particular scene helped her to deal with what happened to her. And it was still tough for her to write it about it, because even though she said there's a part when Laura tells him no, he still lowers her down to the floor, and we know what happens. That's still grape. So and she said the only way that people would try to deal with the situation, because they try to pretty it up. I can't remember the phrases she called it, but she said that it was consensual. So I can't remember, but no matter what, it was still grape. because Laura was really feeling vulnerable. She was still with Scotty. She was fighting with her feelings, and the only way that everything changed was when she had Lucky. Lucky was her son, that she had with Luke. But I think y'all remind me, did he know that Lucky was his child? I can't remember. But Lucky had brought it all the way full circle and made Luke tell him what happened that night of Mama's grape. And so that really helped her through her whole personal dealings when it came to that situation in personal life. And I did not know that Michelle Van Gene was the one who wrote that whole scene. She said she was very close friends with Anthony Gary. At the time of the recording of the interview, he had not passed away, so she talked with him all the time. So I know for a fact that she's taking this to heart. She's really having a hard time with his passing. But I heard it was because he had a procedure. It was like doing some type of surgery, plastic surgery, and he just never came out of it. So yeah, I'm not doing that, honey. I can't. I can't do it. My heart won't take it. My heart. I have a mitral valve prolapse, and so when I had a surgery a long time ago, my mama said they had to wake me up, honey, because I ain't want to come back. It's not funny, but I'm glad, thank God, that she was there. And when I woke up, I could hear her name calling me. So she's like, "Girl, yeah, they was scared, honey, because your heart rate was touch and go." So yeah, I can't do that surgery stuff. I just can't do it. Not no more. Unless I have to, and they're gonna have to really watch me close. But yeah, that was a little known history about Michelle Van Johns, who's the creator of this show. She talked about her relationship with Tony Gary, and she also said, which I thought was cute, when it really came full circle for her to know that the characters that she wrote about, I think she started writing about this show back in 2020, y'all. She said she ain't had nothing to do, so she started creating these characters, and so she was really not knowing how, she's used to writing like uh a lot of pages, but she had to pitch this particular show in like a 10-page presentation. It might be shorter than that, I don't know, but anyway, when it really hit her full circle was that when Danny had slapped the shit out of Haley in the country club, and all of the family were there, and that was she's only been to the set twice, that time and one other time. She's never really been to the set. She said, "Oh my God, these are the people that have been living in my head. These are my babies. They're sitting right here in front of my face." And I bet you that is so amazing to see when you have written such a brilliant show, and then the characters are out of your head and onto the set. So that was really good. If I remember it, I would try to put that interview down in the description box of this particular episode. But it was such a great, great, great interview with her. And I cannot remember the young lady's name who does the costumes for them, but she's adorable. She's from the DC area. She was working on Bold and the Beautiful maybe no more than 6 months before they called her over here to do be y'all know 'em, Beyond the Gates, honey. So she's sweet. She's sweet. She just got married. So it was a really great episode. Creativity always wins. They said the difference between these soap operas and the ones back in the day, they don't pay as much, because back then Erica Kane and all them paid money, and then back then they used to do a lot of shooting on location, like when Erica went to New York. You would see them in Times Square and stuff. Now everything is like set built, so we ain't going nowhere because it's cheaper. We can make it look like New York. We ain't got to go to New York. We can make it look like here. So it's a lot different. But when you love what you love, you're gonna do what you need to do. Okay, back to the show. So, back to the show, Martin was like, grateful that his mother wants to talk to him about it. He was like, good, good. She said, but I got a few questions for you, honey. I really do hope that you are not in support of this bill at all. So he was like, I haven't yet, but that's why he's trying to, go over all of the ins and outs of the bill. She says, I'm going to guess that Joy Armstrong is not a big fan of this particular piece of legislation. Because everybody knows that it has a lot to do with Joey. He knows that. We all know that. So we think that he's not. He says, I don't think so. But he was like, Mama, wait a minute. Are you telling me that you want me to fall in line with what he wants? And Nicole was like, no, no, boo. She says, I have no doubt about your integrity, but I hope that you're not going to go out of your way to provoke a man as dangerous and as unpredictable as Joey is. So Martin's like, no, I ain't gonna do that. She said, I hope not. She said, because that motherfucker can cause a lot of problems for you, and he won't hesitate to do it if you give him a reason to. So yeah. Hi, honey. We're back at. We split it between Uptown and Bill Hamilton. This is him calling his wife. He says, "What color?" Excuse me? You didn't pick that black nail polish, did you? You don't like her with the black nail polish. She ain't even going to get her nails done. Girl, you need to go get your nails done now. He said, I think that shit is creepy. Oh, no, no, no black. Well, if that's all you wanted, that was a very bad transition. She was like, all right, so is that it, nigga? What's up? I gotta go. He says, no, that's not it. I called to tell you something that you might find pretty interesting. Joey Armstrong just dropped by. Oh, what did he want? He thinks that I should run for office. He actually offered to back me in challenging Martin for his seat in Congress. What do you think of that? I think it's a terrible idea. Damn, she didn't even let him get the damn question out his mouth. Because that's gonna fuck up her plan altogether. Because then you got the death of a congressman. She like, damn, this damn plan just keeps getting better and better. He was like, damn, girl, I didn't take his offer seriously. I just thought it was funny. You might find it funny like I did. Damn. I'm sorry. It just you just scared me a minute there. I just saw all my dreams of a relaxing vacation in St. Bart's just slipping away. He said, baby, you ain't got to worry about that shit at all right? I'm already picturing you laying your ass on that beach in one of them bikini bikinis that we talked about. The teeny weeny bikini. Hold that thought, baby. I have to get back to my manicure. Okay. See you when I'm dry. Okay, baby. Their close ups of her expressions kill me. They've been showing a lot of close ups. She be rolling them eyes and looking away. I mean, them close ups are really funny to me. Well, we're back over at the little palace with Daddy and Danny. And yeah, it's nice. I like that brown leather coat that Vernon has on. A marriage that involves separate residences seems like it's on sick, shaky ground to me. Tell her, Vernon. Tell her. I, I'm telling you, if that damn Andre say, well, I can give my condo to Unc, y'all know they listening to us. Because I just started talking about it this week. They know they be listening to us. Well, Daddy, we're just taking things slow just to make sure that we are both on steady ground. That's all. We eased into this commitment little by little because it was all that I could handle. I mean, I was so pow pow shy after Bill. I mean, I'm sure that's not the best phrase that I need to use considering my behavior at Bill's wedding. So, yeah. Oh man, I had forgot to put that on pause. You were the one who reached out and asked Bill if he would MC the Winterfest. Because it's tradition. Nothing else to that shit, baby girl. What's really bothering you, Daddy? Just because Andre still has his condo, that doesn't mean that he's not coming home to me every night, honey. Which is more than what Bill ever did. I'm still recovering, y'all, from my thing, so I'm gonna try to splice it up, and it's not gonna be as consistent as it is. But I'm just trying to. I feel a lot better, but I probably need like just to chill out just a little bit. But I'm back for a little bit. Bill has been hovering around your ass lately, and I suspect that it bruises his ego to see you happy without him, which is what you are, right, child? I'm happier than I could ever have thought of again. Oh my God, I'm so happy, Dad. So, you don't have to worry about me succumbing to the charms of Bill Hamilton. I'm done for settling for less than I deserve. I'm really glad to hear that, girl. I always hoped that my daughters would find the same kind of happiness that I found with your mammy. That's a tall order, Daddy. But what you and Mother have is rare and very special. I know that's right. I know it, okay? And I've never, ever taken it for granted. Baby, we are back at the hospital. I thought that the doctor was a male, but it's a female, which makes sense. So she talks about the procedure, how they use the needle, which is hollow, and they poke it in the tissue to test the area, the affected area. And there's an 80% chance that these things are benign. So the odds are in my favor, right? Yeah, I mean, my thing is like if you and Vernon are kicking it like that, it depends on where they're gonna poke her, where the infected area is. Don't you think that Vernon would notice the scar, or are the scars that noticeable? You ladies have gone through this treatment, or if you have a relative who have gone through this treatment, is the needle so small that a man probably won't notice it, especially if you having your little grown people time. Is it something that he would notice, or would it be tender for her or something like that? Y'all let me know, because I would think that if her and Vernon are into each other like they say they are, um, depending on where it is, he could possibly notice that scar unless she tells him. So the doctor's like, now that you've seen the needle, honey, do you have any questions? She was like, well, it was more of an expectation because that needle is not as big as I thought it would be. So the doctor's like, yeah, I've heard that before. The doctor's like, that is why I like to show the patients exactly what they're going to expect. They've had to school us. She was like, knowing about it helps the patients to become more relaxed, and it gives them more peace. And so Anita was like, so that needle is going to make that sound that you told me about before. So yeah, I think that she should have him there, or somebody should have been there to hold her hand. But Anita is a rock, honey. She's so stoic. She just don't want her family to worry, and I understand it. I get it. So she says that makes that noise, so that's when it takes the sample. So when you hear that needle, that noise, then you know what's happening, right? So Nita was like, okay, what's happening after that? So they're gonna put a piece of cloth on it just to start it from clotting or anything like that. And she will experience some pain for a little bit, discomfort. She says some over-the-counter medication will help with that, and should be enough to keep her comfortable. So, like I said, it makes me wonder where is it going to be, because I'm sure Vernon will notice if she has any type of band aid or something there, because she's going to be tender. That's what I'm thinking. Oh my God, they're showing it. Not but she's like, okay, let's do this. So they faded out. I thought they was gonna go to commercial, but no. As she's doing it, the doctor's explaining. You see the gauze and everything, and you see Anita with a hand over her head. Cool. That was so neat. That if you go through that night, if anybody you probably are familiar with it if you went through this, or if you were in the room with a relative who went through it. But that is so neat that it allowed us to be in that moment with her. I love this. Like I said, I love Beyond the Gates, because there's always a teachable moment. Yeah, they got the buffoonery, clownery bullshit sometimes, but there are always some teachable moments in this show, and which is why I love it, and I'm going to hang in here as much as I can. All right, today's episode was one of the better scripts that we needed to hear. I really loved everything about it, even with Haley's old corny ass. But I love even Vernon bringing up the fact of Danny. Are you sure you and your husband living in today's writing? Whoever wrote it, chef's kiss. All right, so Smitty is back at the red door, and so he was like, "Wow, you just missed my mom." I'm like, Smitty and Nicole just been missing each other, huh? So he just told Smitty that his mother is on board on being his consultant regarding that whole gambling bill that he's talking about. So yeah. So after he talked to Nicole a little bit, he said that it might be a good idea to have the kids involved in this campaign behind the scenes, of course, and with him, the kids and his secret weapon, which we know who that is. Then the whole family will be able to spend time together even more. So yeah. Smitty with his smart ass, he's like, look, it sounds like to me that you are trying to have it both ways, combining your work and family so that you won't have to choose between the two. Mark was like, well, damn, what's wrong with the win-win? Nothing, Smitty says. Nothing at all. As long as the kids want to do that shit, all right? Long as your ass ain't pressuring them. So he said, no pressure at all. Martin says, only if they want to. Smitty was like, good, good, good. I think it's important to them that you keep your word to the children about putting the family first now. Samantha and Tyrell need to know that they can count on you, and they showed a close up on his ass. We know that ain't gonna happen. Once Martin gets into the thick of it, hey, into the thick of it, yeah, he is going to just drop the ball. We all know that. He says it, but his actions is always something different. So we're back at the little palace with Danny, Andre, and Daddy. So Andre's already back. And he scanned that picture back to its original look. So let's see what he done did. So he gotta do a little this and that, magic fingers here and there once, he do all of that. he should have the corrected, edited picture before Christmas. So yeah, go ahead, Drake. So Vernon thanks him again, and he was like, "It's my pleasure for you to just be married. You make a perfect Dupree husband, girl." Danny's like, "Girl, Daddy, once Andre finishes it, we'll get it framed and we'll keep it hidden here so that Mother doesn't find it before Christmas, because you know she's gonna be around there looking for it." So they talk about the picture a little bit, and Danny says that picture has made what I've always thought. Day one, honey, you and Mother have always belonged together. So we back at the hospital. And so Anita's holding it's on her right breast. So she's holding that. So she said the doctor is telling her that she should leave that ice pack in place for another hour. So wow. Damn, that doctor gave her a lot. She can't raise her arms above her head. She needs to, you know, uh don't do a lot of stuff for 24 hours. She can't be lifting up no shit. Nothing heavier than a gallon of milk for 3 days. Girl, you do all of that, Vernon's gonna notice something is wrong with your ass. And when I get the results, the doctor says I will try to get it back to you in a few days. Anita was like, days? Honey, how about today? Doctor says, I know the waiting is definitely often the hardest part, and it is. So we're back at Uptown. So Lynette shows up with Haley. So sorry to keep your ass waiting, bitch. I couldn't talk earlier to you. That's what Haley tells her. She thanks Lynette for coming. My thing is this: why y'all got the chocolate girls up here being the mean girls? You got Leslie, you got Haley, now you got Lynette. Sometimes Naomi, and I'm not saying she's dark. Naomi been acting a little funky. It's like that's how Tyler Perry. I'm sorry, TP be doing with his movies. Or anybody dark like what's his name? Damn, Blair Underwood. Who else? All them people. They be the bad guys. I'm like, man, y'all don't have no light skin. Y'all let me know if I'm like misreading this. Y'all, I know Crystal could be like, yes, Shar, you definitely misreading. Look, we sitting on the front porch. We just running our mouth, all right? Y'all know I be talking shit. Oh, I got that. And Lynette says, it's so good to see you, Val. It's been way too damn long, girl. So Haley's name is Val, honey. Val. She looked like a Val. So I thought they might have been related, but no, they was just girls out there just scamming people. And I could see them doing that shit. I could see them doing like that Thelma Louise shit. And this girl is already for embezzlement, so she ain't changed. And Haley show well, Val, whatever the fuck her name is, ain't changed either. So today was a really good episode 190. Thank y'all for y'all prayers and everything. I've seen all of the comments about wishing me well and stuff. I was just like sneezing. I know. I mean, I still have a little congestion in my nose a little bit, but I just didn't want to be on here just sneezing and hacking and stopping and starting, and it would have been a mess. It would have been a mess. So and my body just needed it. It just needed it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get this episode updated and edited, and probably not no pictures this week until maybe Friday. And I will go ahead and see y'all, and thank y'all for the new subscribers that have come by. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for sharing my shit. I really do appreciate y'all more than you even know. Again, I'm just gonna take it easy and I'll get these videos out when I can. But yeah, just gonna take it easy. All right, love you guys. Bye.